Russell Kern is the CEO and founder of Kern and Partners, and through his consultancy, he aims to help senior leaders improve employee engagement, enhance customer satisfaction, and drive sales growth, and so much more. He joins us now with more on the work that he's been doing. Russell, I'm curious, why did you move from being a CEO of a large ad agency and a marketing expert into becoming the CEO and manager of leadership development consultancy?
Claudia, thanks so much. So after 4 decades of growing my agency from a 2-guy in a garage to over 400 creative professionals, what I found as I looked back at my career, that regardless of the industry that someone works in, the opportunity of tomorrow sits in developing managers, really the middle core of the business. And so as after 4 decades, I decided, what is my next chapter? It's to find my passion to help other CEOs, regardless of their industry, understand the importance and have a mechanism and a program to develop their great managers, because they have such an impact on the bottom line of their business and the long-term success and retention of their employees.
And what were the 5 big lessons that you learned that have fueled your passion for development, magnificent mid-level managers, and luminous leaders?
Thank you. I know sometimes it's a mouthful. So I think those 5 is, I'll run them down. One is great business success always starts with great culture. The truism from Peter Drucker that culture eats strategy for breakfast is so true. I've seen it dozens of times. And so the job of the luminous leader is to set the tone for a great culture, to look for the magnificence that sits within everyone. I think that was the single most important thing I learned. I also learned that I was not a good leader when I was 24 years old. I didn't know how to be a good manager. When I first started, I micromanaged, I ran around, I created chaos, I drove people out the door, and I reflected after a period of time, hey, you got to get some skills here. This is just not, you're not born into being it. The third piece I learned is realizing that the heart and soul of the culture, the day-to-day culture, happens with the manager, and therefore they need the love and care of senior leaders. You just can't expect them to show up and be a great manager without really investing in them, and the returns are significant when you do so. The fourth thing I learned is that to be a great manager, you have to be a lover of people. You have to want to help people. You want to help people grow, and that it is a skill that can be learned. You're not born into it, but unfortunately, many managers are promoted as a result of doing their job well. They then get to that promotion in a new role of manager, and they don't succeed. 80% generally fail in the first 6 months of being a manager, and 50% say they are unsupported in having the tools and are improperly prepared to be a manager. And I think the last lesson I learned is you need to know who you are and understand yourself. You need to be vulnerable about your strengths, your weaknesses. You need to put yourself all out there, because you bring 100% of yourself, both your greatnesses and your flaws. And without you being vulnerable, you can't create the connections that drive managers and develop great managers.
How do you help people learn these tools to be better at what they do?
So what we do is we break the tools into 3 areas. We call them about you and your team, and about your team and the organization. And then we take each aspect of the behaviors. There are 12 proven behaviors that transform good managers into magnificent managers. And we go through those skills one by one, and we practice them in a micro level, because you cannot absorb and become a master of all of them. Just like learning to shoot a free throw in basketball, you've got to practice just your free throws, and then you practice your outside shooting, and then your passing. So we go through each of the 12 behaviors step by step, with workshops or virtual programs, and help people refine those skills. We show them best practice, and then we break them out into exercise for them to build new skills, what we call new neural pathways, and become comfortable with deploying these 12 behaviors.
And Russell, how can people connect with you?
They can go to the Kern and Partners website, KERNAND kern-partners.com. Our phone number is there. That's the simplest way. There's information that you could download about the programs and the courses, and that is the easiest and fastest way to connect.
All right, Russell, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.